Welcome to another edition of Sci-Fi Journal, presented by the Rhode Island Science Fiction Club. This show is for May 2014. I'm Marc Morisseau. Also hosting today are Calvin Watts III.
Hola.
There we go.
Hola.
And Jay Kingston.
Howdy.
James will make an appearance later on in the show. Okay, let's start off with some movie clips in a segment we like to call Popcorn Previews. Go, Jay, go.
Alrighty, the first on our list is the BoxTrolls. This is an animated film by Leica Studios, the same people who brought us Coraline and Paranorman. And it stars the voice talent of Ben Kingsley. It's about a tribe of trolls that live under the city and claim unwanted or left behind children and raise them as their own. Let's take a look at that.
They've got the whole world in their hands. 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 They've got the flowers and the trees in their hands. They've got the sun and the moon in their hands. They've got the wind and the rain in their hands. They've got the whole world in their hands. They've got everybody here in their hands. They've got everybody here in their hands. They've got you and they've got me in their hands. They've got the whole world in their hands.
Yeah, but do they pay for college?
Of course not.
Oh, all right.
Second on our list of hits for the month is Lucy, starring Scarlett Johansson and Morgan Freeman.
Yep.
This is about a young girl who gets kidnapped and has a package implanted in her to smuggle it for this underground organization. And the package begins to leak, and it starts to change her. It changes her mental and physical abilities. And it's really an interesting looking film. And it is rated R. And this one is going to be out in August 8th of this year. So let's take a look at that.
What happened? What did you do to my stomach? What's going on?
You've merely slipped a little package into your lower tummy.
And you're going to transport something very special to us.
English?
No.
You speak English?
Yes.
Take me to the hospital now.
Hospital.
Somebody put a bag of drugs inside me. I need you to take it out. It's leaking.
Of the brain's capacity. Imagine if we could access 100%. Interesting things begin to happen. Yes?
Professor Norman, my name's Lucy. I just read all your research on the human brain. It's a little rudimentary, but you're on the right track.
Thank you.
I have access to 28% of my cerebral capacity. I can feel every living thing.
Since when did you start writing Chinese?
Since an hour ago.
What happens when she reaches 100%?
I have no idea.
All this knowledge, you can unlock secrets that go beyond our universe. I'm not even sure that mankind is ready for it.
It's like all things that make me human are fading away.
I think there's a scene in there too when she goes to the police station and the cop says to her, "Lucy, you got some splaining to do." Yep.
Anyway,
You guys are geeks.
of course we are. Everybody watching this show is probably.
And she goes,
Well, that's true, too.
"Wah!"
and then kicks everybody's butt.
Yes, exactly. Because the film, her mind almost works to working 100%.
Yes.
It's crazy. She gets like telekinesis and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Early reviews on this have
That's
been
crazy
positive,
stuff.
and they specifically pointed out her performance as being outstanding.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she's incredible. I mean, she was great in Captain America, too.
Yep.
Oh, The Winter Soldier was awesome.
That was a good film.
That was fabulous.
Yep.
Okay, next we have The Machine. And this stars Toby Stephens and Katie Lotz, and is set in a semi-futuristic society,
Like tomorrow?
like near tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
And there is a Cold War in effect, and Britain has developed a new weapon. And this weapon is an android that has very human-like capabilities.
Oh.
I have one question.
Yes.
Does it play Pink Floyd as a weapon?
No, it plays Rush.
No, Rush is Canadian.
I don't know.
Pink
I hate
Floyd is
Rush.
British.
Still British Empire. Anyway,
Anyway,
getting back to the film, thank you very much.
you're welcome.
Let's take a look at that footage.
There are a lot of secrets down here in the dark.
You make weapons for the government.
No, I make intelligent machines. Machine, open your eyes. It's incredible. It's conscious. Conscious machines are dangerous. This machine has the potential to be so much more than just a soldier. They're afraid of you. They think you're too human.
What are you looking for? Where are you going?
Let go of my arm. Let go of my arm. She's deranged. I am working on a way to restore her. What are you really?
I am part of the new world, and you are part of the old.
The Machine. When I was a kid, there was a toy called Mr. Machine. It was like a little robot about that tall, and you wind it up. And I wanted it because I used to see the commercials. But during the commercials, they never showed what the thing sounded like. So Christmas morning, I get Mr. Machine. Mom and Dad wind it up, let it go. It starts going wah, wah. Scared the crap out of me. I didn't even want to touch that stupid thing. They gave it to the neighbor next door. To this day, I'm looking for a Mr. Machine from the 1960s just so I can get my revenge.
Anyway, The Machine is out now, and it's rated R.
Arr, it's a pirate movie.
And finally, we have The Signal. And The Signal stars Brenton Thwaites, Olivia Cook, and Lawrence Fishburne, and tells the story of three college students on a road trip across country. They get lost, and they end up in a very eerily empty place, and they start picking up signals from some unknown source. Next thing you know, they pass out. I hate when that happens.
I know, it's awful.
And when they wake up, they begin to change,
So
and it's not for the better.
It wasn't from drinking that they passed out.
No,
They saw
not
the
from
stuff.
drinking. It's
All right.
something in the signal that makes them pass out.
Mexican food?
Microwaves? What?
So let's take a look at that footage.
Can you tell me your name?
Nicholas Eastman.
Are you from Earth?
Yes, I'm from Earth.
What I'm about to tell you, Nick, you may find a bit disturbing. Due to circumstances surrounding your condition, I'm afraid that our information is extremely limited.
You mean my condition? Wait, what's my condition?
Can you recall for me the first time you encountered the signal?
The what?
We're not 100% certain about what we're dealing with here.
What are you gonna tell me?
I need to protect myself.
From what?
That's why you should always bring your space calendar helmet wherever you go.
That's right.
Oh, they use aluminum foil like they did in Signs. Come on.
This movie is out on June 13th
like a
and is
Teletubby.
rated PG-13.
Oh.
Thank you very much for interrupting.
You're welcome. What else you got?
That's it.
That's it. Yeah, but that's awesome. That's some pretty cool
If
stuff.
since it is movies, I do want to go back to Winter Soldier really quick. That was
fabulous.
Yeah, for probably the best Marvel movie to date. The
Probably.
Avengers still has it in terms of action, but as an overall movie,
As far as writing and plot and continuity and
the dramatics were absolutely there.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
and not a lot of CGI, and not a lot of CGI was needed. The
Right.
Falcon was impressive.
Yep.
Everything.
Yep. And the Falcon was believable.
Yes.
So.
Definitely a must-see movie.
Yeah, and a couple of Easter eggs that they dropped in there too.
Oh, yeah, more than a few.
Talking about Stephen Strange,
Mhm.
as somebody they were always checking out, and then you've got the connection with Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yep.
You've
Yep.
got that connection in there as well. So.
And did we see the episode for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes,
that
we
went
did.
along with that?
Yep.
Oh,
No
Did you see it?
spoilers.
Well, yeah,
My
he
wife-
hasn't seen it yet. So
My
I'm not gonna
wife
spoil
was
it.
going, no!
Yeah, it's very well done. When you get a chance, check it out. It's good. Good stuff. All right, so that's it for Popcorn Preview?
That's it for Popcorn Previews.
Okay,
That's all she wrote. Thank you very much. Good night.
You're welcome. Yeah, thanks. I'll be here. Try the deal. All right, now we move on to Game Over with Calvin Watts. What do you got for us this month?
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
So I was a bit under the weather last month, so the guys took up the slack. So there was a lot of releases, both old and new, that have come out. So I'm going to go through them really quick for you.
In many categories.
In
too.
many categories, but it would be just sci-fi, fantasy, and horror, because that's what we talk about.
You realize you're getting a book of synonyms for Christmas. Okay.
That's fine. Anyways, out now for your viewing pleasure includes such titles as The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug,
Smaug.
Frozen,
Yep.
47 Ronin,
Yep.
the complete Green Lantern animated series.
Oh, good. Is that season 1? Yeah. So
Yeah, the whole thing is on
thing.
like one Blu-ray.
Good.
The Toho King Kong movies on Blu-ray for the first time, King Kong Escapes and King Kong vs. Godzilla. It's not really sci-fi fantasy, but I'm putting it in there because I can. Mallrats, which is the second of the Kevin Smith films. And it is the one by far that has had just a limited amount of release. It's on Blu-ray for the first time.
Oh, good.
So The Legend of Hercules, which came and went so fast, you didn't even have time to see it blink.
They didn't even advertise it.
They did.
They did. It just bombed like really badly. Because everyone wants to see The Rock as Hercules. Nobody wanted to see this other movie. That's why. But anyways, if you want to see it, it's out now. Also, the Gamera Ultimate Collection. You can get this 2 ways. You can get this on DVD, and DVD has all 11 Gamera films, the 8 classic films and plus the 3 films from the mid-90s. But they're also on Blu-ray for the first time remastered, and it's a 2 Blu-ray set. One has the first 4 movies and one has the second 4 movies.
And are we ready? Gamera is really neat. Gamera is full of meat. We love you, Gamera.
Gamera has stinky feet. Okay.
They're doing all of the monster stuff, obviously, in anticipation of the Godzilla movie, which we have to go see in IMAX. We have to.
We do?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, but like 50-foot tall Godzilla is scary.
Well, if Mr. Machine scares you, I guess we'll just have to drug you to go see Godzilla.
I got over it. It was therapy, but I'm fine now.
Upcoming titles for the month of May.
Really, I am. Really.
There really isn't a whole lot, but what they have is significant. The Toho Godzilla collection, we mentioned it before on Blu-ray, that's going to be available on May 6th. And also, I find this interesting. I had to double check on this. Son of Batman, which is the next DC animated movie, will be available on Blu-ray. It's like a Blu-ray DVD combo on May 6th. The DVD version, not until the middle of June.
So they want you to buy the
Blu-ray. And it's actually listed, the DVD right now on Amazon is listed more than the Blu-ray. I find that very interesting. It's almost like they're going to maybe start trying to phase out the DVD stuff, but we'll see. On the 13th, I, Frankenstein, with not Thomas Jane, the guy who played Two-Face.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
Aaron Eckhart, see?
That was a pretty decent movie.
That was a lot better than I was going to give it credit for. We saw it in the theater, and we actually liked it. So that'll be out then.
It's worth checking out.
And on the 20th, it's not a Warner Brothers animated feature, per se. It's not part of the DC universe, but it is a DC movie. JLA, Justice League of America, Adventures in Time. They basically took an old Challenge of the Super Friends episode where the Legion of Doom went back in time to prevent like the Justice League from being formed, and it's been modernized. It's a family-friendly animated DC film that you can check out, and it sounds like it's going to be pretty good.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Good. Doesn't have Wonder Twins in it, does it?
I hope not.
I know. That would be very sad.
That was so bad.
Wow.
All right, moving on to gaming. The Walking Dead Season 2 is out now.
See, now we can talk about Walking
And now, yes, I mean, now, as an aside, The Walking Dead Season 4 is over.
Yep.
And for once, they didn't kill off somebody in like the second to last episode. Not anybody major, anyway.
No.
And they really left the series off as a cliffhanger. And you guys saw it. What did you think?
Oh, what a good show. My God. And it's one of those programs where when the season ends, you can't wait for the next one to pick up again. It's that good.
I'm never disappointed by Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's always good.
Never.
It's a must-have.
And The Walking Dead Season 1 game by Telltale it got phenomenal reviews, and for what it was an excellent, excellent game. Season 2 is out. The second episode came out in between the last time I was here, and it really sets up what's going to happen for the rest of Season 2.
Right.
Definitely a must-try.
And I like the idea that you have the comic book and you have the TV series and the same characters, but they're treating it differently.
So definitely something to look forward to. Moving on to Titanfall. Titanfall is now out for the 360. It's been out for the Xbox One, and it is
really?
a reason.
They ported it for 360.
Yeah, but it's a different company that made it.
Oh. Okay.
And honestly, if you're gonna play it, you got to play it on the One.
Didn't they do it for the PS4 as well?
No.
They didn't do it for PS4.
Yeah, the PC has it. You can play it on the PC.
Right.
But the definitive version is on the Xbox One.
Right.
And you can tell it is an excellent game. If you're into multiplayer, this game is for you.
Right.
The mechs enhanced the gameplay. They don't rule it. You can actually have it follow you as like a AI controlled robot where you're doing your objectives or whatnot. The storyline's a little kind of weak because there's no single player game like we talked about the last time I was on the show. But there is a storyline and there is like a campaign mode that you can play on both sides, so you kind of have an idea of what's going on. It's almost like a Firefly Serenity type scenario, whereas, they expanded out from Earth and, you have this corporation, and then you have like this, entity that's like the government entity and they control stuff. And then you have the frontier people who want to be, have their own freedoms and so they fight and collide. But definitely a must-have game. If you own an Xbox One, you must own this game. Can't say it enough. Let's see. The Pinball Arcade. Now, you guys know I have been talking about the Pinball Arcade for a while now, and how I have rediscovered my love for pinball. And I have some big news for you, which it was just announced, as we're taping, it was just announced like a day ago. They had been off the Xbox 360 for a very long time now because with the Xbox 360 restrictions, you need a publisher in order to publish online, whether it's a physical media or digitally. They don't have that with the Xbox One. And so the Pinball Arcade is now available on the PlayStation 4. If you have a PlayStation 3, they just updated the PlayStation 3 version and almost have like all of the tables to date, and they fixed a lot of bugs. They finally have gotten through the bankruptcy stuff for the 360, and I am happy to say that it'll be finally back on the 360 with all of the tables caught up, all of the fixes, everything that they worked on to this point. And it's been well over a year, if not, close to 2 years that it's been available on the 360. There is also an Xbox One version that is in the works, which should be coming out mid-June. And I can't speak enough about this game. In fact, I can't speak so much about this game. I can tell you that I'm going to PAX East tomorrow. I wasn't able to get tickets for Saturday, so I had to get tickets for Sunday. But the Pinball Arcade people, Farsight Studios, are going to be there, and they have graciously agreed to an interview.
Very nice.
So in next month's show, we'll be showing you that, as well as a whole bunch of other stuff in PAX East. I'm really looking forward to going to it tomorrow. I'm going to have a lot of fun.
Very cool.
If you want to know more about the Pinball Arcade, they have a website that you can go to, pinballarcade.com. I'm a member of pinballarcadefans.com. It's a forum where you can go and talk all things pinball, whether it's real pinball or, specifically about this game, which is available on all sorts of systems, available on iOS, it's available on Android, there's a Steam version. There's a really cool podcast that some of the forum moderators do, Jeff Strong and Chris Friebus, otherwise known as Shut Your Trap, and it's called the TPA Barcade Podcast. It's a lot of fun. You can get it off of iTunes or you can get it off of shoutengine.com. They have RSS feeds. So pinballarcadefans.com, go check it out. Last, but certainly not least, easily one of my top 5 must-have titles. So Batman Arkham Origins came out last year, and it was a decent game. It wasn't made by Rocksteady, but it was still fun to play and go through. And the reason why Rocksteady didn't make that game is because of what you're about to see.
What, Calvin?
Batman Arkham Knight.
Oh, right.
That is set a few years after, I believe it's 1 year after Arkham City.
Okay.
And the storyline just looks great. I'm all geeked out for this, but I'm not going to explain it. You see it, and then you tell me what you think.
city. Or I will unleash your greatest fears.
The last will and testament of the deceased, Thomas Wayne. In the event of my death, I hereby declare that all my worldly possessions pass to my son, Bruce Wayne. Bruce, I ask that you honor the Wayne family legacy and commit yourself to the improvement of Gotham City, its institutions, and its citizens. Please, be strong. You are young, but destined for great things. Make the most of your opportunities. Use them to give back to a city that has given us so much, to change the lives of millions of people. Do not be frivolous with this wealth. Please do not waste it all on fast cars and outrageous clothes and the pursuit of a destructive lifestyle. Invest in Gotham. Treat its people like family. Watch over them and use this money to safeguard them from forces beyond their control. My deepest regret is I will not see you grow into the good man I know you will become. And finally, my son, I ask that you never abandon this city to fate. We have lived through dark days, and no doubt there are more to come. But it is the good and great men who stand up for Gotham when others turn and run. In death, I will love you forever. Your father, Thomas.
Batmobile in this game is pretty cool.
The Batmobile has finally made it into the game, and I'm really looking forward to it. This is going to be a game, hopefully, to buy a next-gen system for.
Good.
And we're at that point now where you really have to start, if you have a next-gen system, now you want to obviously stop buying games for it. So hopefully the second wave of generation games will start to show off just what these new systems can do.
Yeah. Now, question. Is Xbox One going to get a price drop before the end of the year, you think?
Yes,
Think so?
I do. As of right now, they've already have discounts. You can go get it's limited, but you can get like a TitanFall bundle with like a year's worth of Xbox Live for less than the retail price of an Xbox.
Right.
It's only limited, but yeah, I do think there's going to be a price drop. There's going to have to be.
Right.
It's selling okay, but the PS3 is still selling better.
The PS4 is kicking its butt.
Oh,
right?
I'm sorry, the PS4 is selling better.
Right.
Infamous Second Son has come out, and it's gotten very good reviews. The Last of Us also, since I don't own a PS4, but I do know this, The Last of Us has been remastered and will be available on the PS4 this summer. That would be a system, a game to get a system for. If you haven't played The Last of Us, you must absolutely play that game. And that's all I got.
Okay.
PAX East next month. We'll have a bunch of stuff, and hopefully you'll have fun along with what I anticipate will be a very fun day. So now it's time for television news with our esteemed chairperson, Marc Morisseau.
brother.
Take it away, Marc.
Thank you so much. All right, here we go. Let's talk about some summer series for 2014. Got my spectacles? We're ready. Here we go. The Last Ship, emphasis on the P. Sunday, June 22nd, 2014 at 9 p.m. on TNT is a series that's coming up for the summer. The synopsis: when a global pandemic wipes out 80% of the planet's population, the crew of a lone naval destroyer must find a way to pull humanity from the brink of extinction. It's produced by Michael Bay. The cast includes Eric Dane, Rhoda Mitra, and Adam Baldwin. Shiny.
I really hope this is going to be good. I've read the book that it's based on,
Right.
and they've taken a lot of stuff from the book, and they've thrown out a lot of stuff from the book.
Yeah.
Basically, it was a nuclear war in the book,
Right.
and so yeah, the same
this
thing,
is a
Last
pandemic.
Destroyer, so it's a pandemic. But with Michael Bay directing it, at least it'll be visually interesting.
That's right. So we'll see what happens
And
with
Rhoda
that.
Mitra was the first person to play Lara Croft.
She was. Yep.
Before the movies.
Yep, cool stuff. Okay, also on TNT, we have season 4 of Falling Skies that's returning on June 22nd at 10 p.m. So you can watch Last Ship and then Falling Skies. And we have a trailer for Falling Skies season 4. Let's take a look.
Your daughter is not human.
Sometimes she'll become just like me, but better.
The nightmare is just beginning.
Wake up.
There's a war. Our family, we have no idea where they are.
We don't all have to die here.
This is a new beginning.
There's no escape
These are all lies!
from what's coming next.
They change us until we barely recognize ourselves as human.
This is the only way, the better way. I want to show you something. The future.
Okay, that was cool. Now, CBS is bringing back season 2 of Under the Dome, or as I say in Rhode Island, Under the Dome, on Monday, June 30th, 2014 at 10 p.m. And then another CBS summer series, a new one, Extant, premieres on July 9th at 9 p.m. That's the one that stars Halle Berry and produced by Steven Spielberg. She is an astronaut, comes back to Earth after a long trip. She's pregnant and something goes wrong. Something weird happens.
What goes wrong?
We don't know. You have to watch the show to find out. So that happens on July 9th. Charmed is returning for season 10.
What?
Charmed is returning for season 10, but in comic book form.
Oh.
Fooled ya, April Fool. Zenoscope Entertainment is presenting the series about the Halliwell sisters, which will make its debut in October of 2014 at the New York Comic Con. Zenoscope previously published 24 issues of a Charmed comic from June of 2010 to September of 2012, which covered most of season 9. So season 10 will be in comic book form, just like they're doing with Buffy for Dark Horse. So good stuff, if you like Charmed. Now, I miss the G4 TV network.
I totally agree
really
with
do.
you.
And I really miss Attack of the Show. So how do I get my Geek on TV at night when I want to find out all the news and so forth? I don't go...
You watch Sci-Fi Journal.
I watch Sci-Fi Journal, but then I also go on YouTube and I check out something called Geek and Sundry, if you're familiar with it. Felicia Day and Will Wheaton are the two people behind that YouTube internet series.
Interesting.
It's cool. They have a whole bunch of really neat shows that you can check out. The lineup includes Felicia and Ryan Day, her brother, co-star on a show called Co-Optitude, where they play old 8-bit video games like N64s and Super Nintendos and stuff. And they roll the camera as they play the game. And it's pretty hilarious with some of the scenarios that they do. There's another show called Talking Comics Weekly with Amy Datlin, who also works in a comic book shop, so she knows her stuff, and she introduces new web comics and online comics and print comics and so forth. So that's an awesome show if you like comic books. There's another show called Unplugged, hosted by a woman named Ashley Birch, where two contestants play video games, and then they go into real-life scenarios like dogfights in planes. So they'll play a dogfight game on a Surface tablet, and then they go to the airfield where they have dogfights in real life. The instructor takes you up and you get to play against each other. And they do the same thing for LARPs and Mario and all that stuff. It's pretty neat.
Cool.
So if you're really interested in sci-fi news and comics and so forth, check out Geek and Sundry on the YouTube channel. You can have a subscription and they'll send it to your internet subscription every week. There's also a segment called Tabletop, which is hosted by Will Wheaton of Star Trek, Next Gen, and more recently Big Bang Theory fame, which introduces us to the world of tabletop games. And they recently hosted something called International Tabletop Day, where one day people around the world play just tabletop games.
I believe there's going to be a new series coming out on Sci-Fi Channel called The Will Wheaton Experience.
Ooh, that sounds good.
So keep an eye out for that.
Who knows? And as far as other stuff, Warehouse 13 is wrapping up its last 9 episodes.
I know I wasn't here last month, but did you talk about Amazon was doing like a bunch of series. One of the ones that you talked about.
We didn't mention Amazon.
The After.
Yeah.
Got picked up. That's a Chris Carter post-apocalyptic series.
Right.
It did get picked up, so it's going to have, I don't know how many episodes will be in the first season, but it is coming. I did get the chance to watch that. That was pretty good.
Yeah, good stuff. Of course, you have to sign up for Amazon Prime to do that, right? Or can you just check out that series for free?
I think you can check out the pilot for free, but then, it's either through Amazon Prime or you can rent it.
Right, yeah. And I haven't had a chance to check out any of the Netflix-only series. That's going to be for my next report. We'll see what happens with that. All right, and that's all I have this month for TV news. Let's move on to, he's not here, but he did tape a segment. Let's check out Anime Daisuki with James Hinsey.
Okay, welcome everyone to the Gundam panel. I hope you enjoyed the dancing boats. These people here for Gundam? Yep. It's just starting, take your seats. He saw my panel, World War II and anime, and we got in this wonderful feisty little debate one night because apparently he got mad because in my panel, I didn't say something. He was telling me, based on information I presented in my panel, he thinks Gundam deserved to be recognized. I didn't mention it. He got mad, so he demanded I do a sequel. Really? Like, Gundam isn't a World War II anime. He's like, no, it is. So we got this whole big argument because I didn't mention Gundam. So he was all going on like, no, everyone knows that Zeon are space Nazis. I'm like, really? Prove to me they're Nazis. So he comes at me with this.
How many people are here for the first time? Awesome sauce. How many people have been here multiple times? For those of you that are new, my name is the Roadie. I'm here to pick things up and put them down.
He waves. Thank you.
And this month, as a special treat, we've got a roundtable called What's on Your E-Reader? And we've got Leslie Watts joining us for this segment, as well as Calvin Watts and myself, being avid E-fans. So let's talk about it. Leslie, what's on your e-reader?
My e-reader has been visiting the Ocean State Library's website in the digital content section. They have so many different books there. They have mysteries, they have science fiction, fantasy, they have romance, they got cookbooks. I don't have to worry about getting back to the library by a certain day or a certain time so that I end up owing fines. I recently checked out a mystery book by Karen. The author's name is Karen Slaughter. The name of the book is Unseen. Guy Gavriel Kay, if you remember him, A Song for Arborn. And he had another one too. I can't remember the name of the series. It was a trilogy. He has a new one out that's based in medieval Japan. I recently sent Calvin the latest Star Wars book and World War Z. So we have quite a few books from the library, but I get most of my Kindle books from a free e-reader newsletter called bookgorilla.com. And there are tons and tons of free e-reader news sites out there where they just send you an email a day and they tell you, what's new. What's on your Kindle?
Well, on my Kindle, I use mine primarily since I have very limited vision. As you guys know, I don't know, probably the viewers out there know it from hearing me over the years. I use mine as an audiobook.
Oh, yeah.
So I have audible.com through my Kindle.
Library has audiobooks too. The library site does.
Awesome.
Yep. And I've recently been getting into the Game of Thrones series.
I just
finished book
finished
number
those.
4.
I just finished. George R.R. Martin says that every time somebody asks him when the next book comes out, he kills off a Stark. They're going to be annihilated, I think, before he's done.
Probably, yeah. So I'm just about ready to get book number 5 and get into that. But when I am having a good day with my eyes and I can read, I've been reading a lot of H.P. Lovecraft, and I've been reading some regular books too. Like I read Babylon. What was it? Babylon Prohibited, which was Claudia Christian's tell-all book about being behind the scenes on Babylon 5. So it's quite a good read. Calvin, what about you?
Well, one of the really cool things about being able to share my wife's Kindle account on my iPad is the fact that the Kindle and the Amazon, they have like a lot of ebooks that are free. You can finish, and start, like if there's like a trilogy of a series, you can start that. And there is a lot of ebooks out there that deal with the apocalyptic themes, which is stuff that I'm really into. So there's one, I can't remember the name of it now, but it basically deals with this guy who's like, he gets sealed, he's like a CIA, NSA operative, and he gets sealed in this underground bunker just in case, like...
The Remaining.
I
think
just in case, like, everything goes to crap. And he's there, and it's like he's there for like 31 days, and on the 30th day, everything goes to crap. So now he's sealed in there for like 6 weeks until the pandemic or whatever it is basically kind of like run its course, and then he gets instructions to go out and try and save like what's left of the country. So which is pretty cool. I also like when I'm not playing the Pinball Arcade. I have an iPad Air, which is really, really good for reading comics. And one of the really cool things I have to say with Marvel Comics, which I am very disappointed with DC about, is that all of the Marvel comics that come out today, most of them, if not all of them, have a digital code.
Mm-hmm.
So you can read the book, and you can also download a digital version from your Marvel.com account, and then you can keep up with that stuff that way. So it's very convenient if you're traveling on the road. I've been keeping up with the all-new X-Men. The latest book I read had a Cyclops on the cover with a gun to his head. And it wasn't technically a literal gun, but the series basically had Kitty Pryde finally like going after him for the events that happened in Avengers versus X-Men, and that, you know, where Professor X ended up getting killed by Cyclops when he was basically the Dark Phoenix. And DC Comics will hopefully follow suit and do something on that where it's cost effective to the fans. Because right now there are very few, and they call them like combo books, and they actually charge you like a little bit more than a standard size book in order to get the digital copy. And yes, you can buy digital copies and put them on your e-reader, but you want, the thing with the e-readers and the tablets and all that is you want it to be accessible. And the easier it is to have access, the more fans and the more stuff that you'll have and the more things that you can do. So that's what I've been looking at.
Okay, I think basically what we're getting at is if you have an e-reader, or if you have a tablet, or no matter what it is, a Kindle, a Nook, or just a regular iPod, an iPad.
Oh yeah, you can do it on the iPod.
You can do it on the iPod.
The Kindle app, you can do it on your
iPad.
phones.
Yep, and there's such a plethora of, that's a big word.
Category.
There's your word of the day, people, plethora.
Plethora. There is a virtual feast of titles that are available for free.
People laugh at me because I have over 3,500 books on my Kindle Cloud, and between my Kindle and my Kindle Cloud, I own 3 Kindles, the 3G, the Paperwhite, and the Fire. And I have books. I use all of them for different things. I use the Paperwhite at night to read in bed. I use the Fire when I'm out and about because it has apps. I use the 3G because it was the first one that I got, and I'm just sentimental about it. Mm-hmm. But out of all of those 3,500 books, I've probably paid actual money for maybe 25 of them.
Okay.
I look at it this way. Download it. If it looks interesting, download it. Read the first chapter or two. If it's really not for me, get rid of it. I didn't pay anything for it, but at least I've been introduced to a new author that I really might like. And a lot of them are independent authors. They don't have a publishing house. They publish through Amazon. And it's just so many new and different things out there to read and do. And I love my Kindles, and I thank you, honey, for my Christmas gifts.
You're very welcome.
Yes, I love my
and
Kindles.
it's not. And if you're not even into like
hearts and bunnies,
if you're not even into the new stuff. I mean, like the Apple iOS, for example, they have a classics app that you can get for free.
Yeah.
Which has books that are in public domain, like H.G. Wells' The Time Machine and The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, Charles
Aesop's
Dickens'
Fables.
A Christmas Carol, Bram Stoker's Dracula. The Homer's The Iliad and the Odyssey, The Wizard of
Mary
Oz.
Shelley's Frankenstein.
Exactly, and it's free.
And that's about it for this month's Roundtable. And stay tuned for another exciting feature next month.
You ready, Jay? It's time for toys, props, and other
stuff, Captain Kirk.
The really big, bright yellow thing is a Pokemon Pikachu bag, which is actually kind of cute if you're into Pokemon.
It is. It's cute.
Next to that is a Pocket Dragon. I believe it's a stamp.
All right.
Which looks kind of cool.
Yep.
Okay. Now, from one side to the other, we have The Hobbit, Desolation of Smog, which just came out as we are taping on home video. Looking forward to revisiting that. The Xbox version, one version of Titanfall. Again, it's a must-have game if you own an Xbox One. Sci-fi mech shooter, loads of fun. On the other end is a blast from the past. It is Battlestar Galactica Space Alert.
Oh my goodness.
Before we had smartphones and before we had cell phones and before we had mostly all of the electronic stuff that you have today, we had these like handheld video games which did like little blips and had like 2 sounds to it. And they had one based on Battlestar Galactica. It's a fairly rare game. I'm glad to say that I have it intact and it still works even, almost 40 years later.
Nice.
This I am really proud of. This is Vanguard Ace. If you guys who remember Force 5 from the 80s, this was the show that was on Monday. It is part of Bandai's Soul of Chocogen collection. I got this at Christmas time as like a Christmas gift to myself, I freely admit, because I got it for a really good price. These things generally, tend to go a little over $100. And it's superposable. It actually will transform. If you ever read the Shogun Warriors comic series, he transforms into like a ship, so you can have that configuration you want. It's ultra posable, die-cast metal, all moving parts, and definitely pretty cool.
And some more pocket dragons. Yeah, cute little circus dudes over here.
Yep.
And what else? Got a little police cap. I don't think they make those anymore, do they? Do they still make?
No, they don't
dragons?
make them anymore.
They don't make them anymore. So they're extremely valuable collectibles. Right next to our award, our PEG award that we got a couple of years ago. They were.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes.
They were really nice collectibles.
Did I do that?
Yeah, as the arrows and the bullets come flying out of the booth at you.
Exactly. All right, as always, if you want to get in touch with us, we have a website, www.risfc.org. We have a YouTube channel. If you know of people outside of Rhode Island that want to watch the show, they can go to our YouTube channel. And we also have Facebook pages for the Round Science Fiction Club and Sci-Fi Journal. Check those out. Okay, that's going to be it for this month's edition of Sci-Fi Journal. Next time you see us, we will be covering Free Comic Book Day, which we always look forward to.
Yep.
All right. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next month.